All right, well, welcome everybody back to Modern Agent Blueprint. I am so excited because today we have Kelsey on, and she is the owner and CEO of Claimed. And I have followed her on social media for a while. She's done some awesome courses and some different things. And I thought, who else would be better to have on than her today to talk about connection or content that connects. So I am super excited to have you on. So I'm going to pass it right over to you and let you go ahead and get started.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Okay, so let me share my screen, which I'm never the best at doing. I want to make sure I share the right one. Okay, let's see. Oh, I do not want to enter full screen mode. Okay, I think you can see my screen here, content that connects. So basically, when we are looking at how we're approaching content for 2026, there's a lot of shifts that we're making. I mean, we know marketing evolves. We know that marketing is never a one and done. And we know that the way people receive content, including which apps they're on, shifts as well. So, really, I'm looking at personal branding for realtors, for really any type of business, to be totally honest, as that move that we are making that is going to help us make an impact and connect with potential clients, develop those relationships. It's all about relationship building, as you guys know. So of course, first, I'd love to be Instagram friends. My handle too, which if I can find the chat somewhere on my screen, I'll pop my handle into the chat. It is at claimed and co. So shoot me a message there or follow me there because I love growing my Instagram community and having everyone that I speak to on here. You can pop over there and ask me any follow-up questions and just say hi. So, a little bit about my story. As Nicole mentioned, so I'm Kelsey Hogan. I am the founder and CEO of Claimed & Co. And we are a full service social media management agency, content hub, and I also do private coaching and private CMO work in group and one-on-one settings for business owners. I have almost 20 years of experience working in marketing, PR, social media before it even was social media. I've led $13 billion companies through IPO. I've done communications for Fortune 500 brands and top TV personalities. I've worked at agencies. I've worked in-house, and I've mentored over 100 female founders. I also work with men, so I know we have some men on this call. I do social media management for men. My coaching program, my group program is for female founders, but we always welcome men into the private coaching and private mentorship as well as social media management. Really, my whole thing is I help entrepreneurs say what really is going to land and sell and stick. So my whole thing is your messaging is your superpower, and I help people make what feels like a very complex system, social media content, what do I post, into really simple, actionable, and of course, profitable output. So I'm a speaker, I'm a podcast guest, and really, again, a trusted advisor to so many businesses and brands that are ready to take their brand to the next level. I'm also a mom of two. I'm a single mom. I live in Birmingham, Michigan. So I'm actually super tapped into the real estate market. I do work with local real estate agents. And I love it. It's one of my favorite niches. I'm just into it. I've moved a ton in my life throughout Michigan and into other states. So I'm like, Zillow is an app that I scroll. Don't worry, I don't listen to the Zillow Zestimates, guys. I just like looking at houses. So I know the deal with Zillow. And oh, I have final fun fact here because that was actually when it was my birthday. I hosted a workshop the other week and it was on my birthday. So it's not my birthday anymore, but fun fact, my birthday was actually a week ago. So that's my little fun fact. Today's goal, though, is really learning how to build that magnetic, memorable, and trustworthy personal brand. And we'll talk about personal brand. What does that mean? That's going to cut through the noisy market because we all know real estate is a very noisy, crowded space. But does that mean there's not room for you? No, it just means that you need to create that category of one business, which we are also going to talk about. So the way that we cut through is by creating visibility, clarity, and connection, and really leaning into your unique value. What do you do differently that everyone else does? People will say to me, well, I help people find their lifetime home or, the home, whatever. It's like boring, bland. Nobody wants to hear that. Like that's what everyone says. Okay. So really, what do you do differently? If you're on the chat right now, I would love you to drop in the chat. What is one word people think about when they hear your name? For me, I would say probably loud or social media. Like I know that's two words, but that's just what people think about. And drop in the chat if you have something that people always say when they hear your name. It can be business related, it can be personal. And I will keep an eye on the chat. But popping into our next slide, real estate is crowded, right? Your personal brand is your edge. So these photos are very intentional and they are here for a reason because as a marketing expert, as someone that is constantly online and is very in with, the real estate niche and all of that, all of these photos to me say Canva, they say bland, they say template, they say boring, lacking effort. They say not personalized, not humanized. And this is the opposite of where we are going. So everything we see here, we don't want this on our social media. Same houses, same captions, same Canva templates. One in particular you might see coming up on Thanksgiving in a couple of days is tons of realtors that are using like whatever the number one Canva template is for Happy Thanksgiving. Maybe it's a cartoon turkey and it's like you see it 5 times. And I'm not talking about like the brokerage and everyone's reposting. I'm literally talking about just being so just post and ghost that you're just not even thinking about what would my community want to see. Like, for instance, a picture of you and your family. Like that's when you're weaving in, hey guys, I'm a family person, or hey guys, I'm with my girlfriends on Friendsgiving, because that's the kind of clientele that I attract. So, oh, outgoing. Yes, I love that, Nicole. So thinking about pictures like this is like stock photo. This is like, again, a brand photo shoot. We love you're doing a brand photo shoot, but don't use this on yours unless this is you. And I think like the holding the key, the little wooden house, it's very dated. So you are the differentiator. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It's hard to grasp when it's your own business. I get it. Trust me, because I work with tons of business owners. Like, we are going to hone in today on how you are building your identity, and that trust and connection is going to win over the algorithm and over a Canva template every single time. So my 3 Ps heading into 2026 to make it super, super easy to follow as we shift into a totally new social economy is P for presence, okay? AKA visibility. If people don't see you, they cannot buy from you. It's that simple. So stop disappearing off Instagram for weeks on end and saying, oh, I was so busy. Stop hiding your face. We want to see you. Stop posting and praying, never interacting with your outward community. Presence is consistency. And in order to create that recognition with people so they get to know you, like you, and trust you, you need to be seen as leading your brand. We all know the realtors and the brands that do this, and they have their own unique spin. What is yours? Because it's not about doing what other people do, it's about doing what you do and what you do so differently. So 2026 is going to require more omnipresence. And when I say that, I mean, we're not just relying on just Instagram. We're not just relying on just our email list. We don't have to be on every single app, and I'll talk about this a little later, but we should be on Instagram. We should have an email list, bare minimum those two. We could be dabbling into TikTok. We could be nurturing people on Facebook. We could be going in person to events, which is like another place to get that presence and visibility, a really big one, especially as 2026, the in-person is going to be so key. And as realtors, those are where you really build those relationships. The second P is personal brand. So you need to identify and create this point of view that builds your reputation that people crave, because your personal brand, your authentic you, is the number one differentiator. And this niche is crowded. A lot of niches are crowded: med spa, hair salon, real estate agent, massage therapist, but it's not too crowded. Your offer, what you do, oh, I buy and sell homes, I help people find the dream home, I help people sell their house. That is not enough. You need to talk about why you are the category of one. And a category of one means you do something differently. The way that you approach your business is different than everyone else. You create the content around that. People see that and they connect to it. You guys see the realtors and the businesses doing this kind of stuff. That's the direction. They're doing it differently and it sticks out. So 2026 belongs to people who are known for something special and different. And the third P is precision. aka clarity. You have to be so clear in what you're telling people online. Clarity is currency. And we're not using fluff. We're not using language and jargon that people don't understand. I don't know how many times I've seen a carousel post about like mortgage rate, inflation, something or another. And I'm like, over my head, don't care, not reading it. Like, we have to speak to people in the language that they speak. And sure, maybe you can talk about mortgage rates in a way that humanizes it and simplifies it for it on a face to camera reel, maybe 30 seconds to a minute to really kind of like connect people like, hey, let's talk. Let's hop on a call because I want to explain this to you and help you understand better. But I see a lot of that like fluff in real estate. Also, when it comes to clarity, it's like we're not just posting sold, sold, open house, sold, open house. Like, that's just so templated. It's nobody really cares about that. That's not relationship building. You don't build relationships by just posting single images of what you've done. You're adding zero value to the people watching. You're building yourself up in your own mind, but you're not creating a human to human connection because humans don't connect to the word just sold. They don't connect to a Canva template. They connect to another human who they feel like can help them solve the problem that they have. So getting into a little bit of like the one-liner framework, this is an easy way to start really developing how am I going to present myself as a category of one? How am I going to think about myself and differentiate myself from everyone else? So we're going to build your version in one sentence. This is the sentence that will literally change the way you talk about yourself, your Instagram bio. And the more that you say this to people when you're introducing yourself, when you're talking on Instagram, when you're doing your hook on your TikTok that you're speaking to the camera, your neurotransmitters in your brain are actually going to start shifting about the way that you speak about yourself. And these are those shifts that we're looking to make. Our brain is going to learn it. It's going to become normal and it's going to become the go-to. So it's like your 10-second power statement. I mean, you could use it as at a networking event, job interview, social media bio, a hook when you're saying, hey, I'm Kelsey, and I specialize in unlocking hidden gem Detroit neighborhoods for buyers. And I really want to tell you about this property today. Boom, there I go. So I've given my little one-liner and I'm telling people, like, keep watching because I'm about to show you something that's a hidden gem. I want to see that. So the framework of it is the I help statement. The I help statement is like the classic I help who do what so they can see this result. It is so, so simple. Again, clarity. We need simplicity, yet it is so powerful because people can know right away if you can help them or if you can't. And this is the same framework I use when I'm doing my audits that I do. So I do like a program with your digital audit. I audit your Instagram, your website, your whole digital presence, and I tell you like what's clear, what's not clear. I build out an entire roadmap for you based on what I'm seeing so that I can make sure that your messaging is connecting to people. And a lot of times what I see is, we're not posting on stories. We haven't posted in a week. We're posting single images, not even with audio attached to them. So there's a lot of different things that I do in the audit, but really the whole idea is how can I say something that's going to make people say, oh my God, I get this person and it piques my interest. I'm going to keep following. I'm going to follow this person and learn more. So I said, I help people buy and sell homes. This is like what 99% of realtors will tell me when I ask what their unique differentiator is. This is one that I developed is I specialize in unlocking hidden gem Detroit neighborhoods for buyers who want character, community, and a long-term investment that feels like home. Again, it could be a little bit shorter, but the whole like helping buy and people sell homes is like, we gotta get a little bit more creative. Doing a few more examples. So I sell luxury homes. Again, luxury, great. That's a little bit special, but it's not that different, right? What about I match high achieving clients. Right there, you're complimenting your client. You're like, you're a high achiever. I know you're a high achiever. I know you're looking for luxury. I don't have to say the word luxury because high achievers, they feel good. That's like a boost to themselves. Oh, I'm high achieving. Yeah, you're right. I am. This is someone that gets me because they know I work really hard and I make a lot of money doing it, right? With properties that reflect their ambition, curated, discreet, and strategically positioned for long-term value, the kind of stuff that luxury home buyers are looking for. I'm the realtor that truly cares about my clients. Bland. So everyone else doesn't. Like, you saying you care and caring are two totally different things. I mean, everyone says they care, right? But I mean, how do you actually show it? I mean, again, I build lifelong partnerships, ensuring every client feels seen, supported, and strategically guided long after closing day. For me, that's a big one because I know that a lot of realtors just dump you right after closing day. So I feel like this one is like, okay, so it feels like they're not necessarily just going to be a transaction for you. And I think like that transactional type relationship is absolutely what we're trying to stay away from in any type of business. So you have a method, you have a perspective, you have a way that works and it elevates the experience in just one line. And buyers and sellers want the guide that's going to take them there. They don't want just a simple task doer selling homes. It also creates emotional and financial connection and outcomes. I think real estate is a life and wealth decision. So, category of one lines speak to both. They can speak to their identity, their lifestyle, their ROI, their long term goals, their confidence, their ease, their legacy. This is what makes the buyer feel like you really get the whole picture. And that creates instant trust, which we know is so important because it shows immediate clarity. So, when a realtor can articulate exactly what they do, it signals that confidence, experience, authority. We need to have authority as personal brands, as real estate agents, as anyone running a business, really. Intention. Clarity attracts, vagueness repels. The more and more clear you can be, the better. It makes your marketing easier when you have this line, when you have this framework of what you do, that you are that category of one. It becomes the foundation for your bio, your website, your listing presentations, your videos, social media, email signatures, how you greet people at an open house. It's literally the anchor for the consistent brand messaging, and we need an anchor. We need the foundation in our brand in order to establish the category of one, in order to build on it. We can't just start throwing things out and expecting everything to connect, right? So this is going to help you create a lane that no one else is occupying. You're going from just another realtor to the only realtor that I want to work with. So the how. Okay, so I we really want to define like who you are and who you want to be and what feels the most authentic to you. That's what's going to be a differentiator here because there's tons of different ways to go about building a personal brand, but this is about not just serving your niche, but it's about being clear on, your authenticity, what values you have that are going to attract and align with people. Because if we're not being authentic and genuine and we're kind of being performative or trying to create something we think people are going to connect to, it's not going to work. So you've locked in your one-liner, like how you're going to be different. Now you have to actually walk the walk, talk the talk, and show up as that person. And we can say like, I'm a realtor. I work with high achieving clients that are ready to expand. But at the end of the day, you have to show up like that consistently all the time on social media when you meet people in person, because that's the foundation. And like I said, the foundation is so key. We have to embody what we are saying we are and who we are saying we are. So really, I mean, for me, it's showing up every day or almost every day. It's talking on Instagram stories. It's talking on Reels. It's bringing people to the broker tours that you're going to and your open houses. Even if you have no listings, trust me, I work with people who have zero listings and they are out there getting content, talking on camera and creating that just position for themselves. And that's how you start. If you're farther down the road, amazing. But you've also got people that are starting and they're connecting with the younger generations, which I will talk about too, of how, Gen Z and Gen A are making relationships in completely different ways. So the old, oh, I've got 1 million people in my roster. Those people are all like living in their forever homes now or moving now to Florida. So we've got to like shift into personal brand. And that's how I'm going to really connect with these new buyers, millennials, Gen Z. I want to just talk about personal brands for an example, just to kind of give you a little bit of a dive on what is a personal brand. So Emma Grede, if you don't know her, she's the co-founder of many major brands, including Good American, Skims. She partners with the Kardashians on a lot of stuff. And her big thing is product innovation, inclusivity, and business acceleration. She's got a podcast. She's got a book. The whole takeaway with this is that your personality isn't just online, it's how you turn your identity into a tangible business and influence. So you practice what you preach. You are who you are online. offline and you take that and you monetize it in different ways, starting a podcast, writing a book, these are all possible for any personal brand, real estate agent, whoever it might be. And then we have Glenda Baker, luxury realtor, viral creator, and the blueprint for turning a real estate career into a personality-driven brand with tons of income streams. So her brand pillars are being bold, entertaining, using storytelling, confidence and authority, edutainment, all things that people are on the internet are very attracted to. And the takeaway is trying to be something doesn't work. You need to be you. That's truly what works. And really, our personal brand is just such a critical piece. The more people can earn trust now, the better, right? Right now, let's say you are one of those agents without any listings or without a lot of stuff. Start storytelling, start sharing, start teaching, lead with your identity and start creating that brand so that when things change, when things shift in the market, people come to you because you've been talking about it the whole time. You didn't just disappear because you said, oh, the market's cooling off. I'm just going to take a break for the winter. Confidence. So you can have the clearest, strongest one-liner in the world. You know who you are. But if you're whispering it online or not saying it at all or hiding behind the generic content that I talked about earlier, like the Canva templates, or only post when you feel ready, your message is never going to land. So confidence activates your positioning. Your brand message opens the door. Your confidence is what walks people through the door. It's the conversion rate because you're not just selling homes, you're selling certainty. So people need that confidence in you. When your audience feels your conviction, they are going to trust your guidance. People think they're buying your service. They're actually buying your decisiveness, your stability, your perspective, your belief in the process, your energy. The confidence is the ROI that they invest in. So embodied confidence makes you really impossible to ignore on social media. I mean, I can speak from personal experience. People can't ignore me because I'm on and I'm talking and I'm showing my authority in what I do. So showing up with confidence and conviction is the game changer. Like feeling cringy, not wanting people to know what I do, this is not the field for you. Being online in sales is not the field for you. Unless you're someone, if you have a Rolodex of people and you're totally happy with that, don't even worry about online because you have to be confident to show up online. So there's a night and day difference between something like, here's some tips for buying and selling versus this is the most strategic move you can make. So think about that language. Carousel post, tips for buying and selling in winter 2025. Scroll past. I don't care. Educational carousel posts like that are dead. Shifting the way you're sharing it and sharing it in a face-to-camera reel versus a carousel would be my suggestion. But I would say this is the hook. This is the most strategic move you can make in the market right now. And here's why. Oh, okay. It's a strategic move. Oh, they're going to tell me why. They're confident about it. I'm going to keep scrolling. I'm going to read the carousel. I'm going to listen to what they have to say. Because that's the way that you're presenting it. Those first words, whether it's a carousel post, whether it's a reel, those first 3 seconds are going to determine if someone keeps watching or if they scroll. And I know we all get obsessed with likes and comments and engagement and followers. The watch time on your videos is the #1 metric you need to be concerned about when it comes to growing your audience. Because if people watch for 2, 3, 1 second, that you're not going to get promoted by the algorithm any more than you already are. The longer people watch, that means, okay, I'm Instagram and this person has people staying on their videos for 30 seconds. That means that people are staying on my app and giving me money for advertising. So I'm going to promote them to new people. When you show up in someone's explore page, when you show up as a suggested post, it's because you have a high watch time. It's not because of your likes. It's not because of your followers. It's because of your watch time. So, and I always say, this is like a side note, but obsessing over analytics on a daily basis, oh, my story views are up, my story views are down. It's all changing so much with the algorithm. Like trial reels work, reels don't work. It shifts so much. I would say look at things on a quarterly basis, but don't become obsessed. If you really want to obsess, look at your reels views. And if your reels views are like dropping off after 1 second, that's the indicator that you need to shift up how you are creating content. So when you post consistently too, you're building trust. So we need to build the know, like, trust factor with people online. We get them into our world by creating content that reaches them when they aren't following us. And then we consistently share so that they recognize us. And again, people want to follow confident people, people with authority. We're not diluting our messaging by sharing more than once. We're actually affirming it by becoming recognizable because people want momentum. They follow momentum. The algorithm is only going to show them things like once a week anyways, even if they're your most dedicated follower. I promise you, posting more is not going to scare people away. It really won't. You need to create the consistency, and your confidence is going to create that emotional safety, especially something that people look for in a realtor, in a lot of service providers, even products, right? They want that emotional safety because this is an emotional and financially loaded decision. So if your energy feels unsure or hesitant or soft or really not there, they're not going to trust themselves to trust you, even if you are really, really great. When you show up with the confidence, steady hand, strategic, the person that can see the path that they really can't see, your confidence becomes their calm. And that's really what we're trying to do. It helps you hold the line on the boundaries, the rates, the standards, all of the things that help with that category of one positioning. Because if you shrink when someone questions your value, you discount things really easily, you bend your boundaries out of fear, that's not confident. Confidence says, this is how I work, this is how I lead, this is why I get the results I do. And the most realtors like do not negotiate their identity. The most successful ones, they have that confident energy and sell the way that you actually work. You are known for something, right? When you know the market, maybe it's the market, maybe it's an intuition, maybe it's your processes, maybe it's your team, your authority, your lived experience, the brokerage you're with, your marketing, whatever it is. It's not about necessarily being the most loud or the most extroverted, but it's about being different and creating that certainty that's going to convert into clients faster than any strategy that you can buy in a course. So confidence plus category of one equals that recognition. And this is how you become the name on everyone's lips when someone mentions, oh, I'm thinking of buying or selling. So your identity and your conviction are that personal brand equity that you're building. People don't remember the realtors who kind of post sometimes. They remember the ones that show up. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about because you see them doing it, right? Confidence is a content strategy. And you post more, you speak more boldly, you repeat your message without fear, you show your face, you own your wins, you educate, and you ask for business without apology. You remove the friction, which means that the content is finally working the way that it's supposed to, especially if it feels like your content is falling on deaf ears.
Can I ask a quick question? Sorry, I
Oh
want.
yeah, go ahead.
So you were talking about watch time. So I'm in my dashboard right now. Where do you find the watch time?
Are you in Reels right now?
So I'm on my professional dashboard. Do I go into Reels?
Let me just go into mine really quick and see. Professional dashboard, because on TikTok it's like really easy to
Because TikTok, I
find.
see views,
Yeah.
interactions, new
Yeah.
followers. I don't see anything
Yeah.
about watch time though. And I
Um
don't do a ton on TikTok. So that's kind of the hard part.
Reels. I know. Yeah, well, let me see. Okay. They like move stuff around in here so much. Let me look for it after and I'll send you guys
Yeah.
a note.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't go into my,
It's
I mean, I'm
the
not like an
individual
analytics.
reel.
I'm
What was
sorry.
that?
It's in the individual reel. I was just looking for it too. So you have to open up that specific
Oh,
reel,
and
and then
view
you
the
can see,
insights.
yeah,
Yeah.
view insight on the reel itself.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay, that
So
makes sense. Good call, Marissa.
love it. Teamwork, right?
All
Um,
right.
so precision, clarity. So this is a requirement in how you market, meet people, and present yourself because in 2026, the more clear that you can be, the better. There's so much noise on the internet and in real estate in general, we know that the more crystal clear you are, the better. We don't want fluff, we don't want jargon, and we definitely don't want terms that are over our head or things that we just don't know what they even mean. Um, nobody really cares about like an Instagram carousel post with the 5 things of blank. Okay. If I can Google it, I don't need to see it on your Instagram. So that's kind of like that filler content that I think a lot of brands, including real estate agents, like fall back to because they don't know what to post. And that's when I'm going to say, go back to your personal brand, talk about what you're an expert in. Like, what could you write a dissertation on? That's what you're talking about. Not, and if you're talking about mortgage rates, it's not a Canva thing. It's like you're just saying and you're talking to your best friend, like you're FaceTiming them about something that they have a question with about the current market. So that's like the way that we're going to think about it. The personal brand piece is just like being clear in how you connect with people, because we don't connect with people by creating a 5-slide Canva, right? We connect with people by talking to them, and people are buying and selling and working with clients every day. We know that. I mean, however the market is hot, not buyer, seller, people are still buying and selling in different places. So it's not always the market. It's not always the algorithm. It can be how you're showing up and your messaging and all of the things that we've been talking about. A big piece of this clarity and the precision is why you're getting passed over. You could be speaking at people and not to them, right? So the clarity is going to convert people faster because you're getting rid of like the fluff and the templates and the things that nobody has time for in 2026. The noisier the market gets, the noisier the internet gets, right? We have to communicate so clearly who I serve, what's that unique value I deliver, and why should someone choose me over everyone else? Marketing content trends to point towards personalization, clarity, and audience first language. So again, we're speaking and giving value versus like educating things that we could easily Google. Your Okay, let me see. Yeah, drive home the one-liner. The emotional takeaway is that like consistency in your identity and what you're saying making sense to people is really going to pay off. Like a lot of times when you're an expert in something, it's easy to speak over people's heads. And that's the opposite of what we want to do. We want to just build relationships, make connections, and just be precise, be precise in our language. So visibility and the omnipresence equation. So the third P in my 3 Ps is presence. And so I want to dive a little deeper. So the omnipresence equation is the fact that storytelling and lifestyle and visibility, posting 4 to 5 times a week, you're mixing talking heads, community focused content, on a very, very regular basis, 4 to 5 times a week on the feed, reels, carousel posts. You're creating a hub for client conversation and conversion by showing up on stories 3 to 5 times a day. You should always be on stories, interacting, engaging, sharing what's happening. And stories is where you really convert those conversations into the DMs, which is where you can start building more of a rapport, getting on calls with people, and actually selling yourself. Another place to be definitely is LinkedIn. So with LinkedIn, you have that authority and professional reputation. I would say try starting with 1 post a week, something you're noticing in the market, a community update, educational content on there, and it's just your thoughts, and become that leading realtor on LinkedIn, because not a lot of realtors are doing that, right? So how can you be different? So LinkedIn, you've got Instagram, TikTok, you've got email marketing. So if you're not doing email, I would do it. I would start with, even if you can do one, like I call it like a signature email a month, like the 𝗘𝗫 download. And I'm just going to go through some key insights I'm seeing. I'm going to share some of my open houses. I'm going to share my listing. I'm going to add value. I'm going to give value. And I'm also going to share what's happening in my world, in my sphere. I would say once a week is a great way to do your email community. Again, I'm framing it as my email community, not like my weekly newsletter where I'm blasting out all my listings. Like it's got to give more value to people, where you're sharing an insight, you're giving some strategy, you're giving point of view on what you're seeing. You're sharing wins. Of course, you're sharing your wins, but it's not just here's all my listings, or it's also not just here is a list of things happening in my city this week that I literally copy pasted off of my city's Instagram. Like boring, okay? And we don't need that. We already get the city email, right? I mean, of course, I love sharing city stuff. I love being the realtor that knows about what's happening around town, but that's not your personality. That's not your authority. That's just something you do to help boost community. That's not like your pillar. That's not your category of one. Another place for the omnipresence is the in-person networking, community events, open houses, speaking on panels, right? Like, why not be applying to some of these, either a networking panel or a conference? Pitch yourself to speak on the stage, become known for your expertise, and then get content there and put it on your Instagram and your LinkedIn and show people how you're the realtor that's on the stages. You're the one that's hosting these events, right? Like even the behind the scenes on this, like, oh, I'm hosting a networking call today with other realtors. Like that's positioning you as an authority in your industry. You don't need to be everywhere every single day, but you do need to be consistent everywhere that matters the most to you. And really, the agents are using social media and so are buyers, right? So we know that it's important, especially Gen Z, millennials. They are consuming across all formats. So, when you stay on one channel, you kind of risk being invisible to a lot of people who might be on maybe the other channel. Maybe they only are on TikTok. Maybe they're only on Instagram, right? So it's the omnipresent marketing. And really, it's just being as consistent as you can be across more than one platform and really repurposing content. So you're taking a TikTok tip and you're turning it into a LinkedIn carousel. You're taking your email and turning it into a talking script for a reel. You can go to repurpose.io and I'll drop that here. Like it will repurpose your content for you. If you don't have a team or like someone to do that for you, repurpose.io. Just like if you can't repurpose on your own, you don't have time, like you repurpose content because you're not reinventing the wheel. You're not trying to say 1,000 things. You're trying to say 5 things 1,000 times each. You have to start thinking about it that way. You're not trying to create content. You're trying to capture what's happening in your life. You're trying to document and share it that way. Creating is where we get just sucked into like way too much analysis paralysis, and then we're just throwing spaghetti at the wall. So just a brief overview of the marketing funnel. So we talk about brand awareness. This is content that's going to reach people that don't follow us. So this is like the viral type content, things that like a drone video or those like really cool kind of videos that realtors post that is like, oh my God, wow, like I'm going to follow because that was really cool. Or like, I see a lot of stuff going viral on TikTok, just like talking about different neighborhoods, talking about things that people just across the country don't know about. Yeah, you're reaching a way wider audience here. You're casting a very wide net. You're not just speaking to the people in your hometown. That's okay because some of those people will get this. And in order to capture the people in your hometown, you have to capture a much wider audience and then filter them through. The people following you are in the nurturing phase. So these are the people that you're nurturing and you're building that desire, interest, emotional connection with, the social proof. This is where you're converting customers. So we're always just talking about the things that we do for our clients, how we're different. We're showcasing our wins. We're sharing with them the listings that we have coming up, all of that kind of stuff. And then the conversion content is really the stuff that's having people say, like, this could be Instagram stories, like, hey, shoot me a DM if you want to hop on a call. Hey, drop this word if you'd love to see this house. That's converting, right? And now when we look at Gen Z, we have like more of a marketing wheel because everything they do now is online. They're inspired, they're exploring their community, their loyalty, their friendships, their news, their social media, and their socialization is online. So we need to create a brand that they feel they are a part of. We're creating engagement. We're creating ways that they feel special, like user generated. We're sharing the pictures that they post of their new house. We are inviting them to come into our spaces. We're not ignoring them, basically, but we're creating that community because the community that we're creating is not number of followers. It's a community that want to feel a part of the brand, not just viewed as a sale. If you are selling on people that still you just view as one sale on to the next, that's going to slowly start not working more and more and more if it's not already working for you already. The mindset shift is number of followers versus community. It's something that you cannot fake. You can say, oh, I'm building a community, but all you care about is followers. You're faking it. It's performative. It's not going to work. The top campaigns in 2025 that went above and beyond, here's the house. Okay. That's what people are doing. It's above and beyond, here's the house. It's the lifestyle, it's the belonging. I saw a really great promo video for a house that was being sold, and it was filmed cinematically. It was drone, but it wasn't like zipping through the house drone. It was like sepia filtered. It was like a trailer for a movie, and it had the family enjoying different spaces in the house. Really, really cool. It was storytelling. It was like, wow, I could really see myself there. Like, of course, we could all see ourselves in these $3 million houses with pools and like, infinity edges, but that's like the storytelling and the lifestyle selling. That's like building that trust and that emotional connection that people are looking for. And there's also like the listings and specs approach. Here's the picture that I literally screenshot off the MLS, and then I'm going to literally make my caption exactly how it's listed in the MLS, which is not how people read captions. They don't read them like number and then the detail, the way the language is worded. It's just not how people read on social. We need to adjust that, right? So that approach is increasingly becoming more obsolete. It's how you make the client feel, how you show them the journey versus just like copy and pasting it on there. Because guess what? They can go on Zillow and find that. So why are they going to your Instagram? They're going to your Instagram to learn about you, to connect with you and realize that you're the right person to help them get that house that they found or to find that house that they're looking for. So this really aligns with my intuitive content framework, which is basically this idea that everything that you know, the reason why people love you and connect with you is because you're genuine and you're sharing what you intuitively love to do, what you're passionate about, and what you already know about this house or this market or this neighborhood. You're just sharing it. And it just gives you a way to put it out there to people, and it's leaning into story, authenticity, community, not just houses, houses, houses. Like, what is a story that you are telling with this house? What feeling is being conveyed? How might you adapt anything that you have for sale right now with that story first approach to your marketing? The intuitive content piece. So basically, this is this idea that, well, first of all, humans have an attention span of like less than 8 seconds online. So imagine trying to be seen and heard and understood in less than seconds. That's why the magnetic messaging and intuitive content is so, so key. This is like the reason that you communicate this way is more important than ever because with every single message you're putting out, whether it's like a Slack update, a social media post, you are fighting with attention in a world that's very, very overstimulated. People are scrolling and they're multitasking and they're half listening. So your clarity becomes your competitive edge. If they can understand you fast, they will remember you for longer. So we're leveraging our expertise, our unique point of view, and that's what we're using to craft content. Nothing people can Google. We need to build authority, not build a list of 5 things on Google. What can you speak on without a script? Those are the things that are going to help you leverage your expertise. We're utilizing diverse content formats, face-to-camera videos, talking videos, B-roll footage. So we have the footage of the house, the footage of anything happening, and then you've got copy on the screen, interactive stories, talking to the audience, polls, Q&A sessions, going live are different ways to, diversify your content and connect with your community. And we're uncomplicating content, brand photos, okay? Getting your brand photos done. So many clients I work with that are not in real estate are like, I don't want to look like a realtor. And to be honest, I don't want to look like every other realtor, even if I am a realtor. Like, what can I do differently in my brand photos that show off who I am and why I'm different and really establish that authority? Plus, you use these as your cover photos. You use them on your website. You use them on your LinkedIn, your Instagram. Like, I use my brand photos several times a day. I log into my brand photos drive and I have 10 galleries to choose from over the past 6 years. So highly, highly recommend that. Not selling. I don't even do brand photos, but I do have someone that does if you need it. Capturing that authentic user-generated content that reflects your brand's personality, like behind the scenes when you're taking clients through houses, if the client is okay with it, like that's like showing like, hey, I'm here with my clients. Oh my God. Like some people are so into it. Like you'd be surprised. I would be into it. If someone wanted to film me, I'd be like, yeah, let's talk about it. I'm here with, Cindy at the house and we're looking at it and oh, this is what I like. That's cool. People like that kind of stuff. and really just filming B-roll seamlessly throughout your day and your daily life. Then you have this gallery on your phone of whether it's stuff from work, stuff from home. You can use that in those Reels trends where you just need video and you can put it in the back of a story. You put the words on the screen. It's like relatable, but it's not overcomplicating. And that's the whole idea of capturing, not creating. You're already capturing what's happening in your life. You don't have to like create a new post every single day. So, hot tips for locking in. Your brand authority is like a muscle. We have to build it up. And we also have to keep working on it because if we don't, it will disappear. Your messaging, your brand authority, it's a living thing. Your marketing is a living thing. It grows with you. It evolves as the platform evolves, as the business evolves. And you're a growing human in your niche. I think you should always be evolving and working on yourself and who you are as a realtor as well.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Sorry.
What was that?
I don't know. My computer started playing something.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
in the background. And I'm like, I didn't
I
know
was
if you
like,
could hear it.
welcome.
Sorry.
No, no worries. So we're never done. We're always moving the goalposts. Marketing is never done. These are some tips that I just say, like to really start helping build that for yourself. Say your one-liner out loud every day until it feels natural. Say it in the mirror, say it to your partner, say it on the phone. Just keep saying it, right? Rewrite your email intros, rewrite your Instagram bio, your LinkedIn about section to pass the 12-year-old test, which is basically the idea that a 12-year-old should be able to understand what you're saying. You don't want to overcomplicate. Share one story a week that shows what you do, not just tells it. So we're showing, we're not telling. We're story selling, we're not just selling. Audit your conversations, whether it's in the DMs, whether it's in person. Notice when people's eyes light up. That's your cue that you're being super clear and people are very interested. So notice that kind of stuff and repeat again and again. Keep a message bank in your phone of screenshots or DMs or phrases that you really, really liked and that landed. So it's like a confidence boost bank, but it's also just a bank of like things you can go back to re-say and repurpose. And also revisiting your messaging monthly because as we know, it's a moving target and we're always honing. The more that you practice your clarity, the more that it becomes your energy in every room, every meeting, every post. And that's what makes you magnetic. It's not just the message, it is really you. So to recap, we have the one-liner that clarity sells. We have the 3P method. We have confidence is everything, of course. And we have the idea that we need to focus on capturing and not creating. So I just say here, that's really it. Being magnetic is about how we communicate, but it's overall being a person too. You can't fake it. You can't fake it for too long. You might be able to fake authenticity for a little while, but being authentic is what really connects with people and magnetizes them versus chasing clients. We're actually just magnetizing them with our story, with ourselves, with our confidence. And the more that you lean into this and share, the doors will open for you. And that's it, guys. Don't just say you want it, actually do it. So show up, start posting, create a new you in 2026 that really leans into the ideas that we talked about. And of course, I'm happy to help answer any questions. Pop over to my Instagram. I would love to chat. And this is my jam. This is what I do. So social media, coaching, group coaching, support, even just content editing. We do that at our agency. If you have just too much content and you don't know what to do with it, we can help with that. So definitely get in touch if you want more help.
Thank you.
And I will unshare now if I can figure out how to do that. There we go. Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad that you came on. This was great. I feel like I took away so much stuff. So I know Marissa was texting me during the whole thing. She's like, "Get me your watch times. Do this. We got to check that."
Oh my gosh, she's like, right? I mean, again, don't obsess over things. Like we can't get too obsessive over it, but that's the indicator that like your reels are getting pushed out to more people. So, that's it's important. And I think a lot of people don't think about it.
If anybody has any questions or anything, you put it in the chat or you could just come off of mute. Um, for people who, what would you say for like the people who, Skylar, I'm looking at you, who doesn't like, they don't love posting on socials. Skylar is the very much like, what are you, Gen X? What are you? What are you now? I don't know what it's called. The youngest version. What are you? Gen Z. Okay.
No,
Like,
the youngest version is Gen A. That's even younger. That's like when you're 14. So I don't think
oh,
we have
he's
any
not
of those guys then.
14,
Yeah.
but like, so, Skylar and I have talked a lot about social media and stuff and finding stuff that is relevant and makes sense and stuff that I'm trying to help him find stuff that like excites him to get him to post on socials. Because I think he's got a lot to share. But like, what would you say is the best thing to kind of start with? If you were like, hey, I'm going to start my social media journey, what would you suggest?
So I would say the biggest thing is like really getting those foundations of like who I am, who I help, and really like working on that one liner. So really thinking about it. Like I know a lot of people love to say, well, like, and I'll use a different industry. I'll use like med spa. They'll like, well, I just help people age naturally. And it's like, well, every med spa says that though. So how can you be different? Like, what do you do differently? Like, and I don't want you to feel like by saying like, I help young families, blah, blah, blah. Like we can niche in a little. Guess what? We're not going to leave out everybody and we're actually going to connect with more people. Like, I hate the idea that like every realtor thinks they're the realtor for everyone. Like, you're not though, I mean, if some guy, I've worked with realtors that I literally, and this is when I moved to a different state, I didn't know anyone. I got a referral. The guy was old. He didn't know how to text. He was like had like paperwork he was like throwing in there. I'm like, no, this is not a vibe for me at all. Like, who am I going to vibe with personally? I need a mom that can text, that's going to go to the house and do a FaceTime walkthrough, that knows how to use FaceTime, period. Like, I had to fire the guy. I was like, I was like, I can't work with you. So it's like, who are the people that are going to say, oh, I can only work with someone like Skylar because this is just how I communicate. This is the savvy that I'm looking for. Oh, he lives in this city or this neighborhood. He gets it. That would be really what I'd be doing. And also, he works with divorcees. Okay. Great. Love it. Love it. I mean, honestly, what a brand. Hey, I'm the young, young, good-looking realtor that helps divorcees find their new home. Like, you like buy him a martini. I mean, like, oh, I could create a total brand out of that. Like, lean into what people want. I'm telling you, like, that would be amazing. I mean, not that you're going to totally do that, but it would kill as a brand. Yeah, like who are you working with now? Why do they love you? And you're just sharing your regular life, right? So you're going to the open houses. You're like leave a house and share your take. Talk about your listing in the way that you would talk about it. Start talking and just go and don't delete. Don't review it. Don't rewatch it. If it's on a story, just post it. Just post it and people will start coming. If you work with divorcees, they're going to start sending their friends because all the people are getting divorced between like age 35 and up. So, if that's your thing, start attracting them. I love that niche.
I think he kind of fell into that niche. It wasn't on purpose.
Well,
Will we call it a niche, Skylar?
well, it is, but then they have kids, right? Some of them might have kids, and it's like, and that's a huge, huge network. But I would just say, just start showing up online. You've got to start somewhere. So it's like less of, oh my God, what am I going to say? Just like start sharing your day to day, start sharing walking into the office, start sharing going through the listing appointments, and then you can slowly start adding your personal spin, your personal take. But you've got to start capturing and just building that content library up to have something, right? And don't even worry about going into Canva and like creating anything. I would just go with you and I would just use yourself, right? I'll follow
Yeah.
you.
Love that. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. And you just posted that you have a
Yes, a
vision
vision
board work.
board workshop, which is totally we're not manifesting, but we're architecting. We're architecting the people that we want to become in 2026. As humans and as business owners and as personal brands. And we're gonna build the vision boards. We're gonna do a little bit of journaling. And it's really just that like reset, right for the holiday, like for Christmas and Hanukkah and all that. And just like resetting. And then instead of going into the new year, like January 1, yeah, I'm gonna be different. You have no plan. this is the plan. And like, I really try to work to hold people to it. So I would love to see anyone there that's interested. It's in my Instagram too, if you guys come over to Claimed and Co. And I'm always in the DMs and happy to chat with everyone as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on here.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
ladies.
you.
Thank you, Skylar. All right, well, let's talk in the DMs, and I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks,
Thank
you too.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.